Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, February 12th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, let's go here. It's good. A few more things. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. There goes the Zoom link. That's it. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. On the daily chart. Going down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. Going down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. We'll change this to red. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. It looks like we are good to go. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, February 12th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here so you guys can see there's liquidity below at 38,696 and there's liquidity above at 38,739. So those are the two levels of liquidity right there. We'll see if any of these levels get hit pre-market. And volatility is very low right now. As you guys can see, ATR is currently at 4, so it's very, very low at this specific moment. So let's see this here so far. Morning, Van Harwig. Morning, Fund Me. Morning, Maria. Morning, Eunice. Morning, everybody. And take a look over here at the clean chart. So for our clean chart over here, I'm going to mark up 6:30. Mark up 8 o'clock. I'm going to go on the 4-hour real quick, see if there's any structure over here for us to mark up. So we got structure up here, which is where price was last week. Structure down here. So price is currently rejecting off the 4-hour resistance. There's a 1-hour support right here. So it's not super close to it, but it does push up. This is obviously going to be This is going to be the 4-hour resistance level. And down below, this is going to be the 1-hour support level. All right, so we got that marked up there. Let's go back to our main chart right here. As you guys can see, again, there's not very much volatility. ATR is currently at 5 right now, so it's extremely low. Let's take a look at the news for this morning. So we had the Fed speak at 6:20, didn't really do much. We have more news at 8 o'clock. There's not really much news today, so that's pretty much it for the morning today. I mean, that's pretty much it for the most part. So we'll be looking for the PRB entry here on open. Looks like price is attempting to be bullish. So if it is bullish here on open, we will be looking for a buy. It's not really confirmed yet, as you guys can see down here. We need this red level 4 pivot to cross below all the other pivots. So if this keeps pushing up, and this will probably cross below. And then once we have that, we'll be able to start looking for a possible buy entry as price decides to climb up from there. So that's kind of what it's looking like, but we'll see here what happens on market open. Obviously, today's Monday, so a lot of uncertainty with regard to direction of price. But if I'm to assume where price is likely to go, it's likely to be bullish. Usually on Mondays, price is bullish. So we'll see what happens here on open. But all right, guys, market is about to open in a few moments. We got about a minute left. And market will be open shortly. All right. So we got market opening in about 20 seconds. As I mentioned, the trend here is starting to shift bullish, so we'll probably be looking for a buy here. So for the PRB entry, we'll be looking for price to push up, retrace back down, provide some space in between, look for the turnaround, and then we'll be looking for entry there. So market is about to open in about 5 seconds. Hey, Steven, welcome back. Yeah, Steven's back with his funded account. For this breakout here, Steven, we're probably going to be taking it for 25 points. You guys can see a huge spike right here. So here's the opening candle. Right here. So here goes the opening candle right here. We did get the push down, rejection off the structure here. So you might get the print for the first criteria, and then we'll be looking for the space after this. So the price come down. Price came down really sharply, pushed right back up. So if this candle here closes green, this will be the first print that we're looking for. Then after, we'll be looking for the space. And then after that, we'll be looking for the turnaround back to the upside for continuation. All right, so we got the push up right here. We're now looking for some space in between. Which looks like we'll be getting it right here shortly. All right, just gotta wait. So now it's waiting, guys. Just gotta wait for this here to play through. The problem with this here is that this is like such a huge candle. This is kind of what we anticipated on market open. So I mentioned that, this is Monday. So typically we're expecting price to push up. So no space right here, guys, because it's still rejecting off the pivots at this point. Yeah, that's the right one, Steven. All right, so there's no space here. It's just another push back up. This might be the space that we're looking for, but if it continues to climb up super high, then Might not get the space here. We might get the space on this. You guys can see the wicks on both sides. This might be the space consolidation that we're looking for. So for the most part right here, we're looking for like wicks on both sides, basically. We're looking for price to kind of wick on both sides to provide consolidation or some sort of candle that shows a sideways movement. If it pulls back too hard, then it's not going to be the space that we're looking for, but okay, so we have some space right here, it looks like. I think price here will probably move sideways for a bit. So we got two of the main criteria is met. We had price kind of pull back, shoot back to the direction of trend. So price retraced down, shot back up. We have some space right here. So price starts to go sideways. It's not a clean one, but it is the space in between that we're looking for where price starts to consolidate a bit. Now we're going to look for price to maybe come back down and go back up. So we're looking for that turnaround. Right back up. So no entry yet. If it starts to set up for the entry where I see the turnaround, I'll let you guys know, but not at this very moment. All right, not yet. So if we have price come down a little bit and push back up, then we'll probably be able to look for an entry here. So if this candle closes with a nice wick on the bottom or with the green candle, then this will be an entry here for the PRV. So we're looking for a wick off the bottom, a nice big wick, or a green candle, one or the other. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle here. So if this candle closes green, it'll be entry. Or if it closes with a big wick off the bottom, then that'll be entry as well for the PRV. Still got 20 seconds left on here. So let's be patient, wait for it to close. If this candle closes with like a little to no wick on the bottom, obviously no entry. It's gonna be a close one, guys. All right, so the entry is right here for the PRV, guys. There goes the entry for the PRV because the wick right there kind of pushed back up at the last second. It's now pushing up.
Order submitted.
Watching it over here. Set an alert there so I can follow it. This thing pushes up so high. Oh, because there's no decimal points. All right, so there goes a PRV entry right there, guys. Be following it right here. Yes, I'm in the trade. You can hear it on my computer when it says order submitted. So let's gotta watch a little bit over here because I don't know if my entry was exactly where it should have been. I mean, it looks decent. It's always hard to tell on an intermarket. So just gotta let it run. This is probably gonna take a while because the ATR is so low. As you guys can see, the ATR is still at 12 right now. So it's probably gonna bounce around a bit before it actually pushes. Which I personally don't like. I like when it goes straight through, but we gotta deal with the lower market conditions today. All right, so let's just take a look at everything real quick because we didn't really take a big look at what's going on the chart. So right here at the retail sentiment, it is currently 74% short. This indicates that 74% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently pretty much neutral right now, flat at negative 21 points. In order for it to be bullish, you need to be above 100 points. For it to be bearish, you need to be below 100 points. Right now, it's pretty much flat. Lastly, looking over here at the news, there's not really much news going on today. As you can see, it's pretty much flat for the most part. So it looks like we're having, for the most part, a flat market, but the overall bias for today is pretty much bullish with regard to retail sentiment and with regard to the technicals. So price is still pushing up right here in profit. Looking over here at the other time frames, the 1 minute is bullish, 5 minute is switching to bullish, 10 minute is switching to bullish as well. 30 minutes currently bearish, 1 hour is currently bearish, and the 4 hours currently bullish. So it's pretty much a mixed bias with regard to trend. Retail sentiment is bullish. We are expecting price to push up higher. However, there's not really much of a bias for today. So here goes, price still continues to move along. As you guys can see, the ATR is still very, very low. So, I mean, for the most part, it's pretty much a waiting game from now. If we hold on to it for too long, guys, I might have to pull out early. If we get closer to 7 o'clock and the price is still kind of going back and forth, I'll probably pull out for profit. Because this trade's not supposed to take that long. It's a breakout. It's just moving way too slow right now, like we mentioned. But I'm holding on to it. Drew over here ended up pulling for a partial, which is perfectly fine. Bloom pulled out as well. And we'll just keep watching it over here. 638. So we've been holding on to it for quite a bit, but it is pushing up to its TP. I got to watch it on my end in case it doesn't pull me out where it's supposed to. It's pushing up right there. I'm going to pull out of it, guys. So I'm out. It's probably going to hit full TP, but I didn't want to risk it. I'm so close to my TP already.
Order filled.
All right, guys, so I'm out of the position right there. It's just, this is not the type of breakout that we're typically used to because it usually goes straight through. I mean, this is probably going to hit, but I was so close to my TP already, I wasn't going to risk for, you know, for that last little point right there that I really needed. So I'm already out of it. So if you guys want to pull out, you guys should be deep in profit right now. It's up like 24 points. It was just so close to it, and I didn't want to risk it because we've been holding on to this for a long time. Usually this entry will hit within the first, 5 minutes or so. The volatility is just way too low. So in a situation like this, like I mentioned, guys, in the past, this is why we didn't want to adjust our TP stop loss for the strategy, right? We lost the strategy on Thursday and Friday, and there you go, full TP. I knew it was probably gonna hit, but it's fine. I pulled out pretty much at full TP anyways, with the point just there. Steven said he just needs 230 more and he doesn't have to go to work today. Nice work, Steven. So you probably hit your full TP. So full TP right there, guys. Perfect entry, as I mentioned. This is why we can't make adjustments to the strategy, right? A lot of people were freaking out on Friday saying we need to adjust our TP stop loss. We don't need to adjust anything. The volatility is just very high on Thursday, Friday. Now it's very low. So in this situation, you might even have to have a smaller one. Maybe it'll be a 2020 instead of a 2020, 25, 25, right? You have to adapt with the market. The market's not always going to be the same. And for now, we will keep it at a 25, 25 for the moment, for the time being, basically. So CSUK held it to full TP. Everyone else here made their profits. Yeah, Gion's out, Kevin's out, Lamal's out, full TPs. Camo said he made 60 off it. I think he got in a little too late, maybe. Nick got a 960 on his Apex, 1,650 on his FTMO. Nice work, guys. All right, guys, so there goes the PRV entry. Again, this is one of the main strategies that we're applying. If you guys just want to take one entry a day, this is pretty much it. So, Steven, if you just want to take one entry a day, you can just take this and be done for the day, right? That's all you need to do, Steven. I think this is probably your best case so that you don't blow your account now that you're funded. You use the 3 contract. I think the 3 contract might be too small, but it's just up to your preference, Steven. If you're okay with smaller profits and you're okay with the 3 contract, that's fine. The smaller, the better, right? That's where you want to be at. You want to be where you're comfortable with. And then over time, you can just increase your contract size. So yeah, just stick to 3 contracts right now because you're already funded. So if you're happy with making, how much did you make on that trade, Steven? I can do the math real quick. So you made 3 contracts times 5 times 25. So you made 375 off that trade, basically. If you're happy with that, Steven, stick to that contract size. When you're ready to increase your contract size, then increase it. But right now, just stick to whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, Steven. So message me your username for TradingView, and then I'll update it later after the live session. I can't do it right now, but I'll do it after. All right. So other than that, I think that's it for right now. I'll put this on the Discord real quick. So I actually opened 2 more accounts, guys. So I have 12 accounts now on Apex. So there we go with the win today. We're back to start off with some wins off the PRB for this week. Go over here and take a screenshot of my accounts real quick. I got some slippage, but it's okay. This is one of those days where I'm okay with getting out a little early. All right, so let me just post this in the Discord real quick, and then we will continue looking for more entries today. So guys, we're back to normal schedule. I'm back from my trip. So today we will be having our mentoring session after this live session. And we'll be covering, basically whatever you guys want to cover today. All right, so here is here are my profits. So I have 12 accounts now. So I have a lot of accounts here. You can see on my main account over here, I locked in 1,140. Got some slippage on the other accounts. So basically 1,000 per account if we were to just allocate this profit. So I have 12 accounts. I made about 1,000 per account. So I made about 12,000 for the day off that one PRB entry right here. If I would have held it to the full TP, I would have made 1,500, but I'm okay. I'll give up 500 to make 1,000 basically. So that is what I locked in for the day. There's no other entries here yet. So we currently have a bullish trend. We're looking for a V1 pattern here to come up before we can start looking for any breakout V3 continuations or any V1 variations with confluence. So no entries right now for official entries, but we'll continue looking as price moves along. So I guess since we're doing that right now, we can just go ahead and add up my profits real quick. So 1140, 960, 840, 960, 960, 960, 960, 960. I'm gonna do this. This is probably a lot easier. So let's see, 960, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 960 times 9 plus 900 plus 840 plus 40. So I made 11,520 for the day off just that one trade. So all right, so there goes my profits. There goes my profits for the day so far. We'll keep looking for some official entries, but as I mentioned, if you guys just want to keep things simple, you guys can just stick to the PRB entry. Take one entry a day, and that's pretty much it. You don't really have to do much else. Yeah, Dejan said I'm hesitant to calculate everything so I don't get too excited when I add more funded accounts. Yeah, there's no need to, guys. Like if you're winning on one account and or if you just, I think the main thing to look for is just to make sure all of your accounts are green. If they're all green, then you're fine. You can kind of just estimate where your profits are. Or like what Dejan said, if you get hesitant like that, don't even look at your profits, right? Just make sure that you win the trade and then you just rinse and repeat the process every single day. For me, it's not really a big deal because my trade psychology is it's pretty much there already, so I don't really mind it. But yeah, if your guys' problem is like getting greedy and stuff, then don't bother adding it up. Just make sure that you close out in green. Yeah, just focus on execution and winning each trade. That's really what it is, guys. And that's kind of what we're doing here in the mentoring group, right? So the mentoring group that we're hosting for this 3 months, it's really just focusing on discipline and consistency. If you can just stick to the PRV entry once a day and don't revenge trade and don't over trade and don't have to take anything else, like if you can, I think this is really difficult for a majority of people, right? To be able to take 1 trade a day and be okay with it. I've been doing this for the past couple of days just to show you guys, proof of concept. Like every trade I've taken for the past couple of days is just a PRV. I'm not even taking anything else. I'm marking them up and I'm identifying them and I'm showing you guys where these entries are. But on my spreadsheet and for my profits, I'm only taking PRV entry, right? So for the most part, I'm basically leading by example to show you guys it's okay to take 1 trade a day, right? 1 good trade a day, whether it be a win or a loss, as long as you meet your criteria and you take the entries that's supposed to, then you're perfectly fine, right? Let the trade play through, and that's about it. So, yeah, Dejan, if that's your problem with getting greedy and revenge trading, then you don't even need to like calculate your profits. What I would do is just calculate them at the end of the month or the end of the week. The end of the week still might get you some FOMO, so maybe the end of the month. At the end of each month, just calculate them, see how you work. Because the thing is, you're gonna have some ups and downs throughout the week. Like last week was a break-even week for us, right? We had 1 win, we had 2 wins and 2 losses, so it was break even. So if you calculated the profits during that week, you probably wouldn't be so happy. But if you calculate it for the entire month, then you'd be really happy because that's where the spreadsheet comes into play. Yeah, just use the if you want to use our trade journal, Dejan, just use that too. So if you guys don't have the trade journal, just go to the Discord, go to trade journal tab right here, 2024 official live trades, click on blank journal right here. And once you have that, you'll be able to pretty much journal your trades. You guys can see over here, I have all my trades journaled. So I don't really have to look at much, right? So there's still no entries here, guys. Don't worry. I'm still watching the charts. I know we're kind of doing a couple of things here and there, but we're not getting distracted from the chart. In order for us to have entry here, we need price to come down and provide basically a double bottom for a V1 variation with confluence. Or we're going to look for price to come down a little bit, provide a V1 variation reversal and continuation to the upside. So, I mean, for the most part, these are the 2 patterns that we're looking for. We're looking for price to come down and continue to the upside. We're looking for price to double bottom. That's really what we're looking for, just those 2 main things. Once we have those 2 things, then we'll be able to ride this through. So that's pretty much what we're looking for here. Yeah, exactly. Dejan, that's what he's thinking. He kind of wants to wait until the end of February to do a payout and let it build. Yeah, that's kind of the same situation with Apex. Like you're limited to your payouts anyways, so they kind of force you to build your foundation so that you can basically have unlimited drawdown, which I think is great. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said the same thing. Likewise, he's building drawdown right now. Because I mean, realistically, once you get funded, you don't want to lose a funded account, right? That's the main thing. So unless you like really, really need the profits, which is very unlikely, you don't, unless you're like on the fence and you really need money, like you really, really need the money, then okay, make a payout withdrawal. But if you don't need the money, just let it sit there, at least until you have enough. I would probably calculate it to be enough where you could have enough drawdown where you could lose like basically 5 back-to-back trades. Right. I think 5 back-to-back trades is a good sweet spot because 5 back-to-back trades never happens, right? Like 5 back-to-back losses. We had 2 back-to-back losses and then we had a win today. So for the most part, let's see, 2, 12, 24. The entry over here happened at 6:43. It was for a buy, win, 25 points, PRB. So if you guys look over here at the spreadsheet, you guys will see that, I mean, we rarely have 2 back-to-back losses. It was just that I think the loss on Friday shouldn't have even been a loss. It was just too close. We got stopped out due to manipulation and then it ended up coming right back down. So yeah, unfortunately, this here was a loss from Friday, but you can see how it came right back down. Our stop loss was just too tight. So we never really have back-to-back losses like that. So I think the sweet spot for you guys to be able to trade comfortably is to have enough drawdown to have 5 back-to-back losses. And then once you have like a lot of like once you built up, you can start increasing your contract size. So like for me, I'm probably gonna start with like a 10 contract once I'm funded, and then I'll build up to 12 and I'll build up to 15 and I'll build up to 17, right? That's gonna be crazy because once I have 17 contracts, I'm gonna make so much profit per trade, right? If you do the math, it's super simple. It's like um so right now I'm doing like about 5 times 17 times 25. Then it's gonna be 2,125 per trade. That's the formula, because it's $5 per point times 17 contracts times 25 points. That's 2,125. So if I have 12 accounts, that's 25,000 per trade for a full TP, right? Of course, I'm not going to get there yet. I'm going to start with like 10 contracts. So like 10 times 5, see 10 times 5 times 25, 1,250 per trade. And then from there, it just keeps building up. So yeah, hit me up later, Maddie. We'll talk about it. Let's see. First trade on Apex. Yeah, Vimal said this was his first trade on Apex. He pulled early as he was a bit nervous. Nevertheless, he's concentrating on building accounts from June, July this year. Until then, he'll just trade one Apex account. Yeah, no, exactly, Vimal. It's key. That is key. Yeah, you guys just got to take it slow. You guys got to remember that there's no timeline, right? You don't have to pass your challenges or evaluations or whatever like within a day or two, right? Like for me, I've only been on Apex for like a couple of weeks now. So I'm not funded yet on the accounts, but I'm going to be funded pretty soon. It's just a matter of time until that happens. You know, the 2 losses from Thursday and Friday kind of set me back a little bit, but I'm still there. I just got to have a couple more wins. True. Yeah, no, I'm already there. I just don't flaunt. Well, I mean, you guys see my profits every day. You guys have seen my profits from like last year. So if you do the math, um, yeah, if you do the math, you can kind of add up how much profits I've made from trading over the past couple of years. But yeah, I don't really care to show profits, guys, because for the most part, it's like what I like to see is I like to see you guys winning, right? Because I'm always winning regardless. So if you guys are winning, I mean, obviously I'm winning. Like if you see other people in the group profiting, like if we look over here at team profits and you see everybody over here profiting, like let me just go over everybody's profits. So Andrew over here made 20,000 on his funded accounts, right? All wins right here on his Apex. So nice work right there, Drew. We have Reese over here made 1,140. You know, people are making all these profits. I don't even have to show my profits here. You guys already know that I made profits because everybody's taking the same trade I'm taking. So Gian over here locked in 665. Nice work, Gian. We have Vimal here, total profit of 619. That's still pretty good, Vimal, even though you pulled out early. And he locked in 138 on his other account. On MT4, we have Vince here, total profit of 862. Nice work, Vince. We have Narith, total profit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6,000 for the day. Nice work, Narith. We have Jonathan over here, total profit of well over 1,000, 2 Apex accounts. Nice work, Jonathan. We have Kane over here, total profit of 1,500. Nice work on letting that hit full TP. We have Sarah with a total profit of 2,560. Nice work, Sarah. And this is what I mean, guys. Like, I like seeing you guys profit because I'm going to profit regardless. So, I mean, I get more fulfillment from you guys profiting because it's just proof that my concepts work and my theories and my trading style works. And the profits just come. It's like, for me, I don't even get excited about profits anymore because I know they're going to happen. It's just getting them, right? Every day it's just focusing on winning. We have Maddie over here, total profit of 6,100. And I think that's the level that a lot of you guys have to get to. You guys have to get to that level where you're just focused on winning your trades. If you can focus on winning your trades, the profits are going to come. It's automatic. And there's no entries here, guys. So just don't worry. There's nothing that we're missing here. I know we're kind of talking about stuff on the side, but realistically, there's no entries here. In order for us to get an entry, we need price to pull back. provide a V1 pattern. Once it has a V1 pattern here, we start looking for entries. So once we get that V1 pattern, we can look for two different scenarios: price to come back down for a double bottom. That's going to be one pattern right there. The other pattern that we'll be looking for is a continuation. So we'll look for price to push up and continue. That's literally all we're looking for. That's why I made it super, super simple. One breakout and then two strategies that we're following. V1 variation with confluence and breakout V3 continuation with confluence. So back to our team profits, we have Dejan here with a total profit of 769. Nice work, Dejan. We have Eunice, total profit of 1,288. Nice work, Eunice. We have Natasha, total profit of 819. Nice work, Natasha. We got some more down here. We have Madhu with a total profit of 1,300. Nice work, Madhu. We got David, total profit of 30 for the day. Nice work, David. We got Jeff, total profit of 1,500. I like seeing everyone. When I see 1,500, I know that people let their trade run to full TP. So nice work right there, Jeff. We have Johnny over here, total profit of 1,320. So it looks like a lot of you guys here actually held it to full TP. We have Steven over here with 80. You just got to increase your contract size, Steven, but I think you're good. If you're happy with your profits, then just leave it as is and then slowly increase as you get better. We have Cameron over here, total profit of 3,000 for the day. Nice work, all wins on his Apex. We have Nick, total profit of 8,000 on his FTMO and a total profit of 2,000 on his Apex. Nice work, Nick. We have Matt, total profit of 1,530 for the day. Nice work, Matt. We have Albert over here, total profit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 8,000 for the day. All wins, Albert. And we have Rashida over here with a total profit of 702 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. All right, guys, so great profit so far. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for a V1 pattern over here for the next entry. We just don't have anything here yet. You guys can see the ATR is extremely low. It's been low all morning, so it's going to be hard for us to really get, a solid entry here because price just keeps going back and forth. Looks like price might be at the 4-hour resistance. So let's pull up a clean chart. Yeah. So price is currently inside the 4-hour resistance right now. Not too much going on here. Price might just go sideways, might come back down into the range. But at this very moment, there's just not much going on here specifically. So it's got to sit tight. But again, if you guys just want to take one entry a day, I think the PRB entry is good. Just take a decent amount of risk, take the trade, and be done for the day. But we will be having the mentoring session today, guys. So we're back to our normal schedule. Right after this live session, we'll probably hang around until maybe 7:30 to 8, depending on if the market picks up. If the market stays pretty dead around 7:30, then we'll just wrap it up. And then we'll go into our mentoring session after. And we'll cover a lot of stuff. It was kind of hard for me to go over the mentoring questions like in the hotel room because I forgot my second screen, unfortunately. So I couldn't really see much as I can here in my office. My office, I have like 4 screens now. So I can pretty much split everything up. So looking at this right here, guys, we currently have a V1 pattern that's starting to set up right here. So if this candle closes green, there's going to be a double body rejection right here. It has to close green though, so just keep that in mind. If it doesn't close green, there's no V1 pattern there. Once we get that V1 pattern, we can look for basically a double bottom. So we'll be looking for something like this: price push up, come back down, push back up for a double bottom. And that's where the buy can be taken. The only problem here that you guys want to look out for is going to be the sessions down here. Price is really close to the sessions. So that's kind of the pattern that we're looking for. If this drops further, then there's not going to be a V1. Okay, so this dropped further right here. Unfortunately, there's no V1 pattern anymore. So V1 here just got cleared, and there's no longer a V1 pattern there because the new low has been established. Nice. Yeah. So Nick over here said his entry is similar to mine, just above actual entry. So upon hitting it on TP on TradingView, he exited on NinjaTrader 8 and closed all accounts, one and done. Yeah, that's key right there, Nick. That's like one thing that Nick mentioned to me too. He said that he really likes the mentoring program that we're doing because it shows you guys the true side of trading, right? The trading is not always going to be straight wins. I think last week was a good lesson to a lot of people not to get greedy and revenge trade because, I broke even last week, and then this week I'm coming back into profit because we have a win on the first day. So if you guys are part of the mentoring group, that's a big thing. That's a big takeaway from taking part in this incubator, because it's going to show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly with trading. A lot of people just see the good, like the straight wins. But there's going to be some times where it's not going to be straight wins, right? You're going to have some back and forth. But at the end of the month, you should see some profitability, of course, as long as you stick to the game plan. So there's no V1 here, guys. Price is still dropping a bit further. It's going to be right at the session, so we'll see. This might be another double wick, but it's not. It spiked immediately right when I said that. And again, there's still no entries here. Yeah, Drew said he loves Mondays and hates Wednesdays. Usually avoid trading. Yeah, it's a common thing for a lot of people. There's like certain days that just don't sit well with people. Like for me before, I used to not really trade much on Monday and Friday. I think Mondays and Fridays used to be my riskier days where I didn't want to trade much. And then Trap Tuesday came along and that kind of changed a little bit. And then Wacky Wednesday came along and that kind of changed things a little bit. So for me now, I just take trades every day, especially if I'm just taking the PRB entry. I just take every trade because that's the only way that to really understand. Once we have enough data on the PRB entry, then we can start making some adjustments. We'll be like, okay, this trade usually loses on Friday, so we just don't trade it on Friday. That's going to come with time. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing and just keep fine tuning the strategies as we get better at it. Edward's asking, in Apex, did you choose the trade evade option? Yeah. I think everybody's using the trade evade option. If you pick the trade evade option, you have a lot more platforms to trade on. You can trade on TradingView, you can trade on Trade Evade, you can trade on NinjaTrader. I think that's probably the best option for Apex. So guys, just another reminder, there's an 80% going off on Apex, and I think it's expiring tomorrow. So if you guys are still on the fence about opening an Apex account, I mean, this is probably going to be one of your last chances to get 80% off. So I'll just post this over here real quick so that you guys know. I'll post the link over here as well because just if you guys, because it's really cheap, guys. If you guys want an Apex account, it's like $60 for 150K. That's like a steal because once you get funded, you're gonna make that back like clockwork. It's gonna be super easy. Well, I mean, just with one trade. So all my accounts are 150K. I just bought 2 more accounts, so I have 12 accounts now. So this is how much profit you'll make per PRB entry, right? Around this much. So the $60 is a good. I think it's worth it. So I might even buy 2 more accounts at this point. Yeah, probably after this live session, I'll buy 2 more accounts. Yeah, C6 said if you're really on the fence, you can grab a 100K account for $45, or you could even grab a 20K account for, I mean, I don't even know how much that'd be, like dirt cheap, like $10. So it's just up to preference, guys. If you guys want to, yeah, exactly. Eunice said, I think Apex wants to attract a lot of people as possible. Yeah, I think right now because there's a lot going on. So if you guys, I got an email from Funding Pips. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of them. I was actually thinking about opening an account with them back then when I was with MT4. And I just posted it in the group, I think yesterday. So they sent me an email yesterday and they said that they're no longer, our doors are closed immediately to all USA clients. So it's just getting closer and closer to that point where people should just start moving to futures. MT4 is not going to be accessible to US clients anymore, so there's just no point. There's no point. Like and I saw the thing in the chat where they said that TFF is moving people to CTrader, but CTrader doesn't accept US clients, so it's still there's no way to there's just no way to trade with them, right? If you're a US client. So if you guys are using any of those other funding companies that trade US30 to US clients, they're all going to get shut down. I've heard from a lot of other people who are in the trading space who own prop firms and stuff like that. Yeah, everybody's getting shut down. They already knew about this stuff. Like this isn't new news. Like all this stuff's getting shut down. It's just they're not accepting US clients anymore. FF is asking, do you still trade on your FTMO account? No, I don't. I just left it alone for now because I was waiting for them to kind of move to another platform or find a solution. I don't want to lose my accounts and then not be able to open anymore. So I'm not trading my FTMO right now. I'm just trading my Apex. It's still there though. So if I want to go back and use it, I can. I just don't want to risk anything. I think so. I think my trade psychology gets kind of screwed up when I get worried about stuff like that. Because I feel like everybody on FTMO, you're kind of like at a sudden death, right? It's like if you lose the account, then you're freaking screwed. You're like super screwed at that point, and you can't get another account. So for me, I don't like trading like that because I start to trade a little differently with my with my with an account that's at risk. Because like back then you can like blow your FTMO and just create a new one, but now you can't do that. When you blow your account, you're pretty much done with FTMO. All right, guys. So looking at this over here, guys, we have a V1 pattern. So this might be setting up for a breakout V3 continuation. So we currently have a V1 pattern over here, which is a reversal pattern. We currently have a buy signal here that is pending. So if the buy signal closes and there's a green candle after it, that's going to be a breakout V3 continuation with confluence. It's not likely that we'll get a V1 pattern here because the sessions is right there. So I think if we do get another V1 pattern down here, it's probably going to reject directly off the sessions and it's going to be a red flag. So there's still no opportunity here just yet. Let's see, Edward's asking what's the discount code for the 80% off? So just click that link right there, Edward. Click that link and it should give you the 80% off. Once you get to the checkout screen, it'll be there. If not, the code is here. I'll put the code up there too. Let me see if I can pull this up over here. The code is what's the code, Edward? It should be automatic though, but if it's not automatic, then you can put that code in. But usually if you go to the second screen, it'll show the discount already. All right, so there's no other entries here yet, guys. The buy signal never came up. There's no V1 pattern. There's no way for it to be a V1 pattern because there's no high. So in order for us to have another low, we need to have a high up here, right? So there's not going to be another V1 pattern down here, at least not anytime soon. If it starts to go sideways right here, then it can still turn back around to the upside. But you guys can see the volatility here is extremely low. Price is pretty much just going sideways. And it's pretty obvious. I can just mark this up right there. So price is pretty much going sideways right here at the moment. Let's see, Maddie said, everyone should read through the Apex website before signing up for an account so that you fully understand how everything works. Yeah, so when you sign up to Apex, guys, they send you guys like 4 emails after. I feel like nobody looks at the emails because as soon as people sign up, they have like a million questions, right? So when you guys sign up to Apex, wait for the emails from Apex, and they're going to send you directions on everything. I don't mind helping people like with Apex stuff, but it comes to a point sometimes where things just they're just self-explanatory things, right? Like how to log into your Apex. You just log into your Apex and there's an Apex login there. Or there's a whole FAQ that you can literally just search up and you can find the answers for you said because you work for Apex, Sean. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind helping you guys with Apex stuff, but a lot of the very, very basic stuff, like how do you get your login? You just log into your Apex. The login is right there on the bottom right. Or I heard they updated the website, so it might be a little different. But yeah, a lot of the and then like setting up NinjaTrader The problem is I can't show you guys how to set up NinjaTrader on my Mac because it doesn't work on Mac. So I have a separate laptop where I run NinjaTrader. So I can't really show you guys how to set up NinjaTrader, but there's like step-by-step process and it's super simple through Apex. I'm probably gonna create a separate. I'm gonna create a separate group or a separate tab in the Discord, and it'll explain how to. It'll just break down everything like the most basic questions we get, like how to log in and stuff like that. I think we can just put that under the FAQs actually on our Discord because I never update this anyways. So I think at some point I'll maybe create a video and I'll show you guys where I'll create videos explaining how to do that, how to get your login. But for the most part, just wait for the email from Apex and they'll let you know exactly how to do everything. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan said Apex has a step-by-step on how to connect to NinjaTrader. Yeah. It's super simple, guys. It's not really that difficult. I know the first time is difficult because it's new to you, but it gets easier. Like once you set up your Apex or your NinjaTrader once, all you have to do is just when you buy new accounts, it's all automatic. It gets automatically populated. So super, super simple. But yeah, I'll try to help you guys as much as possible when it comes down to it. All right, we have another V1 pattern right here, guys. If this candle closes green, we'll have another V1 pattern here. It has to close green though. If it doesn't, then there's not going to be a V1 pattern right there. Let's see. Drew said waiting for that huge bullish candle fake out before the climb back up. Yeah, bearish candle. Yeah, I'm looking for the same thing too. There's no V1 pattern here, guys. The candle didn't close green. As you guys can see, price is just sitting around the sessions, right? This is an area of manipulation. So you're probably going to see price go sideways here for a bit before it ends up going above or whether it ends up going below. There's going to be an area there, with all of this stuff, but we got to wait for it to actually break out of this area because this is just an area of manipulation. This is why we don't typically trade around the sessions. Yeah, Shannon said they have a ton of YouTube videos walking through on Ninja and TradeObey. Yeah, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. Again, it's just another resource. That's how I understood how to do things. I just looked at the FAQs on Apex and then I looked at videos on YouTube. And there's just a bunch of videos explaining how to set things up. I wish I could make videos, but I'm not on a PC, so I can't really. I mean, I guess I could technically do it on my laptop, but I'm just not familiar with using the laptop. Plus, I don't have Zoom on there. So maybe at some point I'll show you guys how to do it. But there's a ton of videos out there that are already available. Let's see, question from Gary. Gary's asking, Sean, what's the limitation on withdrawing profits from Apex? Sorry, I know you had mentioned this earlier too. Yeah, I kind of mentioned this like every day. Gary, I think there hasn't been one day where here, this is what I'll tell you, Gary, don't worry about it. Once you're funded and you get payouts, then worry about it. Right now, don't worry about it. It's not any concern to you at all. Because if you're not funded and you can't get funded, then what's the point of knowing about the withdrawal limits, right? I feel like a lot of people, they want to get ahead and understand these things, but what does it matter to you if you're not funded yet? So get funded first, Gary, and then we'll talk about it. Get funded, get your first payout, and then you'll know what happens because you'll be limited on your payout. But at that point, your payout's probably not going to be that high anyways to begin with. So, the limit's not very low. Like Maddie just posted here, it's 2,750, right? You can do that every 2 weeks. So yeah, guys, don't worry about that stuff. Worry about getting funded, worry about getting a payout. Once you get a payout, then once you get a payout over like 2,000 or 3,000, which majority of people aren't getting, then you could worry about it. But you don't really have to worry about it because I'm pretty sure making about 3,000 a week, or that's only one account. I have 12 accounts. So if, say, for example, I was to get limited, right? So I can make 2,750 times 12 accounts. That's 33,000. I'm not going to complain about getting limited on 33,000 profit for 12 accounts, right? I'm gonna be okay with that. Times 2, it's about 66,000 a month. So yeah, the limits, I don't even care about the limits at this point. Because you could have multiple accounts. So it's there's no need to there's no need to worry about any of that stuff. And I'm gonna send you one, Drew. I got you, bro. Yeah, once you get your payout, I'm gonna send you your shirt. I might have to meet you in person to see that withdrawal in person. Yeah, you gotta get Kodi Kai tatted like Johnny. Man, Johnny's a crazy success story though. If you guys have seen Johnny, is he on here right now? Yeah, Johnny is here. Johnny's a crazy success story with us here in the group, guys. He's been getting funded, getting paid out, and he came from like no knowledge of trading at all, or even like technology in general. It's like Johnny came through with a plan to get funded, get paid out, and he's been here for like less than I think less than a year, maybe a year now, and he's pretty much recouping all of that for the most part. Shan's asking me to buy a t-shirt. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the t-shirts, I'll order some more t-shirts because I'm pretty much I'm like the only person who wears the t-shirts for the most part. I planned on putting them up on the website, but I just never got around to it. I'll order some new t-shirts, some like fresh new t-shirts. I think the design right now is fine, so I'll get some more, and then I'll put them up on the website. So I will let you guys know once that's available. Yeah, Maddie said this buy signal is weak. It's been pending for a while. Yeah, this buy signal has been pending since up here, right, Maddie? Since we had that V1 pattern. So this buy signal has been pending for about 20 minutes now. For like about 20 minutes, this buy signal has been coming up and disappearing. There's no V1 pattern here, so it wouldn't really matter. There's no entries for us to take here at the moment until we get that V1 pattern. So once we get the V1 pattern, we can start looking for some more entries. But as you guys can see, the volatility is extremely low right now. I haven't seen the volatility this low since I can't remember, honestly. It's below 10. So yeah, this is why I'm not really expecting much to happen here at the moment. It's super slow. It's super slow for a Monday, which is really unusual because usually Monday is usually like the time when the market's pretty volatile. But today it's really, really slow. I mean, if you look at the clean chart, it's pretty obvious. Price is just going back and forth. So I think there might be a lower low right here. So we can mark this up as the 1 minute support. See, at this point, price is pretty much just going back and forth, 1 hour or 1 minute. So it's kind of just ranging back and forth between these two levels right here. This is the new range. And again, there goes the clean chart. Opening price was down here. So we have that bullish push right there for the PRB and then sideways from here now. Kevin said Super Bowl Monday. Yeah, CJ said, I think people are still hungover from Super Bowl, right? That's why people aren't trading in the market today. It's just yeah, the volatility is low. There's just not a lot of people trading right now. Yeah, no worries, Gary. The we just got a lot of questions about stuff that's kind of relevant with regard to Apex, guys. Um like lately we've gotten a lot of questions about the drawdown rule, which I know it's a little confusing, but there's a lot of videos online that explain it, and I've kind of explained it like pretty much every session. The drawdown rule is nothing to really be worried about unless you're swing trading or you're trading like a big RR, right? If you're trading a big risk reward where it's like 3 to 1, yeah, you're probably not gonna do well with the trailing drawdown rule. But if you're just trading with like how we're doing here, it's like perfect for our trading style because we don't really get into that point where the trailing drawdown gets affected. So for the most part. We get a lot of questions about the trailing drawdown rule, the limited withdrawals. So the thing with limited withdrawals is that it's actually a good thing because it forces you to build a foundation for your drawdown. And that's kind of where it ties in with the trailing drawdown. So once you build your foundation and you're limited with your payouts, like for example, if I'm making, okay, so for example here, like I said, I'm making 1,500 per trade, right? So if I'm doing 1,500 per trade and say we're doing 3 trades a week, that's like 4,500 times 2, so 2 weeks, making about 9,000 every 2 weeks, right? You subtract 2,750. So basically, you're going to withdraw 2,750. This is how much money stays in the account, 6,250, right? So for 3 months, you can only do the maximum withdrawal of 2,700 per 2 weeks. So with that said, if this is the case right here, and this is how much you'll be making basically every 2 weeks, times 2, that's going to be an extra drawdown right there that you can add to your account. So you have a foundation that's getting built without you even knowing it, because you'll have about 12,000 more drawdown and you have no more drawdown limit. And then times 3, because that's 3 months, you'll have basically 37,000 drawdown, right, by the end of your 3 months. So this makes it virtually impossible to blow your account unless you take some really, really dumb trades, right? So I think the limitation on withdrawals is not necessarily a bad thing, because by the end of those 3 months, you should have a huge drawdown. Like at that point, you can lose 37,000 and still not lose your account because your drawdown kind of gets cut off. And I think this is what a lot of people don't see, right? A lot of people don't see that they're kind of forcing you to create a buffer between you blowing your account between those 3 months. So I like what they're doing because it forces people to not make stupid mistakes. Because I see people get funded and then blow their account right away because they have no buffer. Apex is being smart about it because they're basically teaching you to be a professional trader. Pay yourself, but don't pay yourself too much right away. You just got to look at the long-term picture when it comes down to it. All right, so as you guys can see, price is still at the sessions over here. It's not really doing much. It's just going, back and forth. Yeah, exactly. C6 said it's genius. Maddie said most people don't have the discipline and patience to build, and that's where we're different. Or at least people who are willing to put in the work for 3 months, right? Yeah. For you to find consistency for like 3 months, I think that's why I made this program, the mentoring program, 3 months. Because if you can't find consistency within 3 months, you're probably never going to find consistency. But if you can build that consistency, like the first month will be a little bit rocky. The second month, you'll start to learn more from your mistakes. And by the third month, you should be able to be consistent and disciplined because you're kind of just repeating the process every single day. So like for me over here, I'm only taking the PRB entry, right? I'm showing you guys that I'm disciplined and consistent to just take one strategy pretty much, or one entry every single day for about 3 months. The problems are going to add up, that's for sure. But you guys will see that if I just do this, you guys will see that it's possible for basically anybody to be profitable if you can just follow directions, because it's not really that difficult. I make it sound easy, but it becomes difficult depending on the person. If they can control themselves and if they can avoid making mistakes over and over again. All right, so there's still not much going on here, guys. Price is still going sideways. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I think in the next 10 to 15 minutes, if this doesn't continue to move, which is probably going to be the case, then we'll probably get off this live session and then I'll get back on for the mentoring session with the rest of the group. You guys are able to sit in on the session, but just a reminder, I'm not going to be answering any questions from the YouTube. So you guys can sit in on the YouTube. Again, I'm doing this mentoring program. So if you guys are new here and you guys are not familiar with what we're doing, after these live sessions, I get on a private mentoring session with our mentoring group. There's about 40 people in there. We're doing a 3-month mentorship where basically we're applying only official strategies for 3 months. We're documenting everybody's trades. We're making sure everybody's on track. And by the end of the 3 months, hopefully everybody will be profitable and consistently disciplined to follow their trading plan. So if you guys want to sit in on that, I don't post a link up to any of the groups, but if you want to sit in, just make sure that you go to our YouTube channel It's youtube.com/Kodi Kai trades. Again, youtube.com/Kodi Kai trades. And from there, just click on subscribe and turn on notifications right here. I go live about 2 times a day. And whenever I go live, the YouTube will email you guys. So YouTube will send you guys an email and tell you guys that I'm live with a link. And you guys can sit in and pretty much be part of the mentoring group without actually being part of it. And we do that every single day. So again, there's still no movement here. Price is still going sideways. CJ's asking my account size for Apex. All my accounts are 150, CJ. I did the math with the accounts on Apex. Let me see if I can open them up here. Where's that link for? Okay, so, oh, what the? They just updated the Apex website. Did you guys see this? I mean, it still looks kind of crappy, but it's better. So yeah, the 80% off is going on for one more day, guys. So if you guys use that link that I sent you guys, it's gonna be running for. Hey, the new website is actually pretty cool. And it's not amazing, but it's still pretty decent. It's better than it was before. Okay, so I did math over here. All my accounts are 150K. So I wish this thing would stop moving. Okay, so your trailing drawdown for a 150K account is 5,000, right? So 150,000 divided by 5,000. So basically you have a 3% drawdown risk. Like that's how much your risk would be trading a 150K account. For a 100K account, you have 100K divided by 3,000. Did I do that? I think I might have done the math wrong. %. Okay, so yeah, you have about a 3% on the 100K. On the 150K, you have a little more risk. So you have 3.3 so you have a little more risk. If you're doing a 150K count, you have basically 3.3% risk on your trailing drawdown. For 100K, it's just slightly less. It's that 3%. So if you do the math and you look at the other ones here, like these don't really make sense. Like 75K, I think. So 2,750 divided by 75,000. I mean, it's about the same. So your risk is going to be about the same, about like 3%. But I would rather have more 150K counts than a 75K count. If you're really worried about risk, then obviously these are going to be the best ones. But I'd rather have 20 150K counts versus 20 25K. I'm not sure if they changed the numbers here because when I first did the math, it was slightly different. Or maybe I just did the math wrong. I don't know. 1,500 divided by 25,000. So you guys will see here, if you do a 25K count, you have a 6% drawdown risk. So you have way more drawdown on the lower accounts. Everything else is kind of, let's see, the 50K count, 2,500 divided by 50,000, 5% risk. So you can see it gets lower and lower. So over here, you have 6% risk, 5% risk, 3% risk, 75 and 150 are about the same. And the 100 is a little less. And then these over here are like, I mean, they're doable, but your risk is super, super tight. So it's going to take you longer to get funded. So for example, your 7,500 divided by 300,000, you have 2.5% risk. So you guys can see it makes a big difference between 150K and a 300K. So I think this is a good sweet spot, 150K count. You can do these, but they're just going to take you longer to pass because you have a lower risk threshold. So just keep that in mind. There's a V1 pattern right here, guys. So this might start to set up for an entry, but I highly doubt it because the session is still right here. So we have a V1 pattern, but if we're looking for that V1 variation, it's going to have to touch the sessions, right? So we're not going to be able to take an entry here for a V1 variation with confluence. We're also not going to have a breakout V3 with confluence because we already have a buy signal right here. Exactly. Drew said no momentum signal pending. So, I mean, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? You guys have heard that before. There's nothing here to really take. there's a V1 pattern, but there's not going to be a breakout V3. And if price comes back down for a V1 variation, it's going to be at the session. So there's still not going to be any entries here. This is another reason why I've opted to take the PRV entry every day, because this happens every day. These other official entries, they'll happen every so often, but they're not always going to happen. So that's why I think this is a lot easier to follow. You just take one trade. It happens pretty much every single day for the most part, versus waiting for an entry here that's like probably never going to happen. Or if it does happen, it's probably going to happen super late. So I think last Thursday we got off the live session, or last Wednesday. As soon as we got off the live, a breakout V3 variation came up and it went straight to TP, like immediately as soon as we got off the live. So see if there's anything else over here. Shannon said, marathon mindset is key for her. She's learned not to compare herself. The brain says slow and easy now. And in Sean's voice, it plays. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why for me, guys, a lot of people ask me if I'm funded with Apex. Unfortunately, I'm not funded yet because I'm taking things slow. But, you know, slow and steady wins the race, guys. You just have to be slow and steady and consistent. And, you know, once I'm funded, it's going to be pretty much smooth sailing, because I'm able to show you guys that you're able to stay in limbo for a good amount of time, just taking one strategy a day. It's going to take longer because I'm only taking one entry, but it's slow and a smooth process. Like, I get some back and forth from last week, but other than that, it's pretty much been smooth for the most part. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Exactly what it is. Let's see. Vimal said Apex money program is actually very good with just one step challenge. And if you're consistent and take calculated risk, it should be very difficult to blow the account. Building multiple accounts of low risk should be our mantra, which we will all get there slowly and peacefully. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Vimal, 100%. Definitely agree with that. I mean, that's why it takes me so long, because I have to take one trade a day. Yeah, Steven said sky's the limit, and you know that you can have what you want, be what you want. Yeah, exactly, Steven. I mean, I'm excited for you again, Steven. Every time you get funded, I'm excited for you, but I'm just really hoping that you stick to the game plan this time, because you get funded almost every week, but you just blow the account right after. So I think if you just stick to the breakouts in the morning, Steven, just one trade a day, you'll be pretty solid. Because that's kind of what you did before. Like, you just got to take it, you know, slow and steady. So I got high hopes for you this time, Steven. You just got to stick to the game plan. Like, you can still stay on these live sessions, Steven, but just close out of your your Ninja Trader or MT4, whatever you're trading on. Because I think that's kind of what gets to you the most. Once you see FOMO and you want to take a trade, that's where it kind of screws you over. Yeah, John said it's not moving because CPI tomorrow. Yeah, let me check the calendar real quick. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So we do have CPI tomorrow. Consumer price index. So we have inflation news tomorrow, core inflation rate month over month, inflation rate month year over year. Basically, a lot of inflation news this week. We have CPI tomorrow. We have PPI on Wednesday. Producer price index, same thing. It's just inflation news. We have the Fed speaking pretty much all day tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Wednesday. So Wednesday, we have the Fed speaking pretty much all day. We have the Fed speaking today too. Fed Kashkari is going to speak at 10. Thursday, we have retail sales, jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, retail sales, autos, gas. Basically, it's just inflation week this week. CPI, PPI, retail sales, production, manufacturing, and then the Fed speaking pretty much every day to pretty much reinforce the information that comes out. So today's pretty much slow because, yeah, it's building up for the week. So we'll see what happens. CPI news comes out tomorrow at 5:30 pre-market. We don't have any news during the live session, which is perfect. We'll see how price reacts to it. We have a lot of news on Wednesday, though, during the live session. 7:30. Thursday, we have PPI pre-market. Some news at 7. And then Friday, we have news pre-market, and then some news during live session at 7. All right, guys. So I think this might be it for the live session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 7:37 right now. We're not really seeing much happening here. As I mentioned earlier, this is kind of what's going on. This is what we expected. I mentioned once price pulled back below the sessions here, it's probably just going to keep going back and forth between the sessions until it breaks out. Eventually, price is going to break out of this area. So price will continue going back and forth between this area. And then eventually, probably within the next couple hours, price will break away and come back to open, or it'll probably break above and continue climbing from here. So if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll be back live like right after this for the mentoring session. So we're still going to keep going. We're just not going to be looking for any entries here. So for you guys here who are part of the mentoring session, we'll get on right after this. I'll just get off this live session and then I'll post a link in the mentoring group so that you guys can join in. Let's take a look at the Discord real quick. All right, so get great profits over here, guys, from you guys. So Kaner posted his all wins right there for the most part. So Kaner's been on a winning streak since the second. So he had a loss right here on the second. Everything else has been wins. He currently has an 80% win rate for February. 4 wins, 1 loss. Nice work, Kaner. Vince over here, his win with the PRB entry. We have Natasha here. She has 1 loss for the month so far. Pretty much all wins as well. She's at 80% win rate, if not higher. We have Kevin over here. 2 wins and 2 losses for the month so far. Not bad. We got Nikki over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins, 2 losses. So pretty decent win rate right there as well. And we're going to keep continuing with that. So let's take a look at the team profits before we get off. We have some more profits over here from Daniel. Daniel locked in 2,000 per account. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's a lot of profit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, so about 12,000, 13,000 for the day. Nice work, Daniel. All wins. And then we have over here with Kevin, total profit of 840 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, great profits, man. You just got to keep consistent, right? I know, Kevin, you have problems like over trading and revenge trading, which is it's a common issue with a lot of people. So don't worry about it. You'll get better. It's just going to take some time. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I'm going to get off this live session and then I'm going to post a Zoom link for the mentoring session in the mentoring channel, guys. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. They'll be posted on the profits video later today. But I'm going to get off this live session and I'm going to send out the link for the mentoring session. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow for the next live session. Otherwise, if you guys want to sit in on the mentoring session, feel free to hop on. Everybody's welcome. I'm just going to be answering questions through the Zoom though. So I'm going to log off this and then I'm going to send out the link for the mentoring session right now.